What's going on, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pretenders or Contenders Coaches Show. I'm your host, Coach Devon Powell, Law High School football, Law High School basketball, and got my co-host with me tonight, Midnight Rider. How you feeling tonight, bro?
I'm good, man. Ready to get this party started, man.
Yeah, man. Same thing, man. We had a long day today. A long day today, man. We actually had our Prince George's County Football Coaches Association Media Day for football today. It's our annual event that we have down at the Athletic Republic, the former Run and Shoot. And it's a chance, man, where we highlight and spotlight all of our football programs in the county. It's a good day for coaches to, expound on their teams a little bit. Some of their players that they bring down with us, highlight some of them and their achievements so far and what we're expecting from them during the season. And today was a great event, man. There was a lot of media coverage down there today. The Pretenders or Contenders podcast show was there, doing interviews with some of the players and some of the coaches that, we'll play throughout the next couple of weeks and shows. And we'll also post some of those on the Facebook page. Look like KG posted my 2 interviews today already on the Facebook page. So we'll play some of those interviews on the show as we go along, and other media outlets was down there. DMV grind session was down there. They do a great job of highlighting sports in the high school sports in the area, all sports, basketball, soccer, lacrosse, anything they cover. So they were there interviewing players and coaches. And segue into next week. One of our guests next week, Miss Monet. Real lady broadcaster Monet, she was down there interviewing players and coaches as well. So it was a good event, man. A good way to spotlight the county, man. And I wish we, next year my plan is to have a bigger setup down there, Midnight Rider, because I think that's a great event, man. Great environment down there.
Yeah, if I had known about it sooner, we could have gotten some things arranged. I would have tried to make it down there just to help out. Question for you, Coach. How long have y'all been doing this media day?
So, man, I can say, let's see, this media day's been going on for, I want to say, at least 5 years now. And, about 5 to 6 years now. This is my 3rd year involved in it, personally. And, it's a great event, man. Like I said, it gives us an opportunity to, step up to the podium, talk about our program, our goals for the season. And then, they bring up some of our players that we bring down with us, and they ask them questions about the season and different things like that. So it's just a good opportunity, man, just to showcase and highlight these young men.
So let's we can't showcase everybody. Let's showcase the guys you brought with you today. If you and just tell us a little bit about them real quick before we get to our next guest.
Oh yeah. So real quick, I haven't done a lot of talking about my own program yet. So, that's cool. I'm trying to keep the bullseye off our back. You know how that goes.
I got you.
To get locker room material. But with me, I had 8 of my seniors down there today. And 7 seniors and my starting quarterback. My starting quarterback's a junior. I had them down there. My quarterback, wears number 1, Demarius Custis. He was my starter last year as a sophomore. He's going into his junior season, man. He's the leader of the team. He's QB1. And he's a great talent, man. He's one of those kids that can play all over the field. If I didn't have to play him at quarterback, he could be a linebacker, running back, slot receiver, tight end. He can do it all. So had him down there. Then I had my one of my offensive linemen, my tackle, Micah Berti. He's coming off of an injury this season, but he should be ready to go by the time season start. He plays tackle. He's been a kid in the program for 4 years. Was my starting. He was a starting guard last year, but he'll be a tackle this year. Also plays defensive tackle. and expecting big things from him this season too once he comes back healthy. King James Corbett, he's a senior 3-year varsity player. This is his 3rd year on varsity. Wears number 3. He plays the slot, running back, cornerback, safety, outside linebacker. He plays it all, man. King James is one of those kids, man, that has a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and this could be a big season for him, man, as long as he lives up to that potential and he puts in that work. He's been putting in the work in the summer. Now we just need to translate it onto the field during the regular season. Jabrilla Bangor, this is his 3rd year on varsity. He's a senior as well. He plays defensive end. He's going to play some blocking fullback for us and some tight end for us this year. Wears number 22. Finished last year. I think he had 7.5 sacks playing defensive end. And we expect him to get more this year. So happy to have him back. Lane Sagbo, he's wearing number 2 this year. He plays defensive back, plays corner and receiver for us, mainly on the defensive side. He's one of those kids that's been grinding all summer long. And, last year was an up and down season for him, but we're expecting big things from him this year, his senior year. Keaton Gant, he's been in the program. This is 4th year in the program, 2nd year on varsity. I call him just like my son because the boy gets on my darn nerves. I mean, it ain't a day go this boy a text message or whatever. He's coming off a slight injury, man, but he plays linebacker for us. Doesn't play too much on the offensive side, but I'm expecting some good things from him, man. He was having a good off season, a good spring season before he had the slight little injury, but he'll be ready to go. Who else am I missing that was down there? Josue Router. He's my starting center last year. He comes back this year, number 62. One of those guys. He's the heart and soul of the offensive line, man. So, glad to have him back. And then I'm trying to think if I forgot anybody. Oh, got about my boy James Massey. James Massey. He's one of he's an undersized lineman, but he's smart, man, and he knows all the calls. He's gonna get out there and battle and fight. He's a little fiery sometimes, but he's a good kid, man. Over 3.0 GPA. And I'm expecting big things from him this year too, man. So those are some of the players that we had down there in media day. I did interview them, so we'll play some of that, and I'll share some of that on the YouTube channel and on Facebook as well.
All right, good. Sounds good, man.
All right, but yeah, all in all, man, it was a great day down there, and a couple comments, my guy. Mills Vog, he was supposed to be down there, but that's all right, Coach. We know you're gonna be around, so I ain't worried about that. Coach Marcus said I'm trying to hide the talent. Yep, I don't play my hand for anything. I don't tell nothing. I ain't giving nothing away. It's time to find out if he's a contender or pretender. Yeah, I mean, that's the reason for this show, man. That's one of my sayings, and my players know that because during several of their interviews, they kept saying, Coach says, are we pretenders or contenders? It's time to show it, You can fake the funk if you want. Football ain't the place to fake the funk.
It is.
Yeah. Right. So, man, like I said, it's a great day. Proud of PG County. Coach Hale from Suitland, who we had on recently on the show, he put together a great event, man, and I can't wait to share some of the videos and information that came out from that day. Okay. So moving on, we're going to bring in our first guest, all right? And it's my guy, Mr. Amadou Kalogaaand.
Yo, what's going on?
From Law High School, one of our basketball state champions, and now part of Bowie State men's basketball program. What's going on, bud?
What's going on, Coach? How are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, man.
Good.
Midnight Rider, when we had JT on, when I had JT on in one of the, I think it was like the second show of the year, my guy dude text me. It's like, man, I need to get on there.
Yeah.
Okay,
get on. So I said, I got you, man. This one of my boys, man, from day one, man. And I'm just proud of the season that he had this year, man. And I'm gonna let him speak on it. I ain't gonna talk too much, man. I'm gonna let him get his shine in right now. So what's going on, Amadou, man? If you can, recap your senior year for us, man.
It was, senior year. I think it was finally, just the year of getting over the hump. Played a lot better, made first team all county. Obviously, won state, made it to county, won region. I think it was a great year, just every year just getting over that hump. Like, my freshman year we were bad, sophomore year we were okay, didn't win the region. And then junior year, with you, losing to Whitman, and then just getting over that hump. I think that's what really taught us, what hard work really was. And just getting over that hump, man, it was really something. But those group of guys or those group of coaches, it's really something I'll never forget, to be honest.
Yeah, man, I say, when you mentioned the Whitman game in your junior year, where we lost that heartbreaker up there in the quarterfinals. I tell everybody if we win that game, we win states that year. We're talking about back-to-back state champions. Because we had all the pieces that year, and it just, it was just a matchup thing. They got us. That's what made winning the state championship more sweeter, as we came back on them. They returned a lot of players. We returned a lot of players. So it's just one of those things where they had been in the state championship the year before. And it was get back time. So
not for real.
Yeah. So go ahead, Midnight.
So Amadou,
yes, sir.
Give me something, because I always like to figure out what kids take away from coaches. Give me a story about Coach, and you and your relationship. Like, what makes it work, baby?
Yeah, there's a lot of story about my man, Coach P, man.
Hey, it's a family show, man. Keep it PG.
Yeah, there's a lot of story about my man, Coach P. I feel like the main thing with Coach P, he's always just been like, he's gonna keep it real, but he's gonna motivate you in the way you're supposed to be motivated. I think during the season we played Flowers at home. That was my worst game of the season. I think I had 2 points. I was like 1 for 10. We won, but I had a really bad game. It was a really rough game, and I was really frustrated. And then we had the game the other day against Bowie, and especially Coach P, he could see in my face when it's really easy to see in my face when I'm frustrated. And the way he just, talked to me, telling me, push that game aside, this time to be a hard coach, and this time to, let your players know, they could do this and, who they are, and not one bad game defines them. And I think he really talked to me that day, and that really, I think that really helped me and, really looked into myself, just because I had one bad game doesn't mean I'm a bad player. So I went out, played a lot better, got a win, and it's just things like that he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to get to people, how to motivate people. And as a coach, as a player, having a coach do that, all your 4 years, it really inspires you. It makes you feel like you could do what, he believes you could do. So.
Is there something?
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Is there something that Coach says that sticks with you?
After my junior year, Pretenders and Contenders, the name of this, that stuck with me. That stuck with me all the time, especially because he used to text me personally, my junior year. Junior year, we would beat all the bad teams, but once a good team came, we would always fall short. And then he would be like, "Oh, we Pretenders and Contenders, Pretenders and Contenders," and that always just stuck with me because it's you could beat all these bad teams, but once you play a good team, you can't fold. So I feel like that's what stuck with me the most, really, Pretenders and Contenders.
Cool. Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
What about what I used to tell you before every game, before tip-off?
Who got the best mid-range in the state? Yeah, that too.
We got the best mid-range game in the state. That's what I tell them before every tip-off.
Yeah, that's
walking out.
But that's what I'm talking about, just instilling confidence into your players. A lot of coaches don't understand how much that means to a player, how much it really helps them. He does a great job of doing that. So.
Yeah. Go ahead, Coach. What else you got?
And when we had JT on, man, and Coach Hines was on the first episode, man, and we talked about the state championship, and when I'm having general conversations with people, the performance, I tell everybody, the performance you had in that state championship, man, and it wasn't like you dropped 40 points or whatever, but the performance you had was outstanding. It was one of those nights where I don't care who was on the other side, who the other team had that night. You was in your zone, you was in your bag that night, and you was killing it. Midnight. I don't know if you watched the championship game, but if you go back and watch it and just see the way that Amadou was operating, it was no way we was going to lose that game that night. I mean, he was getting to the lane, they couldn't stop him. He was pulling up mid range, they couldn't stop him. He was hitting the three. He was kicking the ball out. It was like one of those things where I finally, knowing Amadou for all these years, I finally seen him put everything together in one performance, and it was amazing to watch, man. And he put the team on our back that night. And I'm gonna be honest, and me and Coach Hines talk about this all the time. We ain't have to coach that game. It was just one of those things where Amadou got it. So tell us how you felt that night, man. What was so special about that night?
To be honest, I remember having a conversation with JT like before playoffs. I think it was when we found out we are gonna play Meade, because Meade is all of our friends. So I'm talking to JT. I'm like, yo, like I feel like the way this is moving, like it's just like destined for us. Like there's no way we about to lose. And then after Meade, during the Meade game, I hear them on the intercom. They say we playing women. So that's when I'm like, yeah, like there's no way we're losing. So I think that game on Saturday, I think it was just really like an accumulation of all the work I put in, just like coming into fruition. I don't know. I feel like I just wasn't thinking at all that game. I wasn't overthinking. Yeah, I guess I can say I was nervous, but once the game started, it was like it's another game. And then I know we started slow. I think we were down 7-0. But it was never as if I was nervous that we were gonna lose. Like it never gave that. And then JT got hot. Then once I seen one go in, me and JT seen a couple go in, CB was hooping. I think that's everything just started flowing. And then, as a basketball player, once you see one go in, if it keeps flowing, then it's over from there. So I think, yeah, that's really what it was. It was a great night, man. It was the best day of my life. It was a great night. It was the best day of my life. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
I'll go a couple comments real quick before I get to our next questions. Coach Marcus said big number 2.
Coach Marcus, what's up?
Natasha, our super parent. You don't walk into a lower high school basketball game without hearing Tasha's loud ass voice.
Nah, for real. Nah, for real.
She said, yeah. She said them parents put that fire into them. We wasn't losing. Show improved.
Nah, for real.
Look, if we let her keep commenting, she's gonna comment all night long. 5-star general.
I missed that. That's 3 in a row.
Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm cutting her off now. And then we got one comment from my guy, man, Miller's Law, my guy Kirsten. At what point did you know you was winning states?
That's a good question. To be honest, probably after that Mervo game, I want to say. That Mervo game was the toughest game in the playoffs, in my opinion, Coach. I don't know about you, but that Mervo game was crazy. It felt like an away game. But after that game, yeah. But after that game, definitely after the Meade game, once I knew we were playing women, I knew we were going to win, if I'm being honest with you. Because the conversations we were having, the practices we were having, it's like we weren't going to lose to them 2 years in a row. There was no way. So probably after that Meade game.
Well, look, I'm going to take it a step further. I ain't going to lie. After we lost to Whitman that year before, I knew it right there. We coming back and we win the state championship. We ain't losing next year. Jeez. I said, we losing, I'm going to retire, and I ain't never coaching ever again in life. Because
yeah, there was no way. There was just no way. Like as a team, we were just too focused. There was no way.
Yep. You got another one, Midnight?
Oh, of course. Let's talk about your journey to Bowie State. How did we end up here?
So after the season, I had a couple offers, couple interests from D3s, JUCOs mostly. But Bowie State was always on my radar, and Coach Harrison, he's cousins with the head coach at Bowie State, so he got me into some runs, just getting me in front of the coaches, playing in front of the coaches, and I guess I played well enough to, I was blessed that they offered me. So, really shout out to Coach Harrison for putting me like in that room and putting eyes on me, and then shout out to Bowie State for seeing my potential and letting me play.
Oh no,
yeah, Midnight, real quick. Let me just jump in real quick. It's one of those misconceptions that a lot of high school athletes have, and especially on the basketball side, you think, okay, we winning a state championship, I'm automatically going D1.
Yeah.
But it don't work like that. I mean, there's other factors involved in this, and then I ain't gonna go into my soapbox right now. But in Amadou's case, and you're my boy, so I'm gonna use you as the example. Amadou got all the pieces. He has the range, he has the mid game, he has the handles, he has the mindset. He's a point guard. He's a point. He's a nice combo guard, to be honest. But Amadou, how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot, man.
6 foot. So, it's one of those things, man, where, unfortunately, a lot of the major D1 schools, size, that eye test is a big thing. And, I used to tell JT all the time, because JT is a Duke fan like myself. And I'm like, look at Duke's starting lineup. The smallest person in the starting lineup is 6'5".
Yep.
So if your point guards are 6'5", it puts you in a sense of reality of how things go. And
yeah. And then to add to it too, especially the portal now makes it even tougher. Because they're just trying to get somebody experience. It's like, why take a chance on a high school player when I can get a college player that already been playing for 3 years? So it's definitely way tougher now for high school.
Exactly. So we talk about that a lot on this show, the impact of the portal on recruiting high school, and we're going to continue to talk about that, because that's a message that we need to get out to all these young players out there, man. So I just want to say it, like, don't let that that shouldn't have you, and I know it doesn't affect you, but diminish what you think of your game, because
of course
you got the game to be on that level, and you going to trust me, you're going to show it these next 4 years.
Of course.
Yes, so you got me to ask another question now, and it's a different one that I wanted to ask at first. As a guard playing basketball, and you watch maybe the NBA or college, who's like a guard that you look at and like, I want to add some of his game, I want to add a piece from him. Like, who were your influences?
That's a great question. Obviously, the big ones like Steph, Kyrie, but mostly I've been watching a lot of SGA. SGA is probably my favorite player just because of his counters, the way he could get to the rim, draw fouls. Like, his scoring is crazy. Like, his whole game, back-to-basket game. I study a lot SGA. CP3, I study a lot too. Like, his pick and roll game, his IQ, even his defense. Rajon Rondo, somebody I look at a lot too now, since I'm trying to be more of a pure point guard. Rondo. Trae Young, I watch a lot for his flow game, his pick and roll game a lot too. So a lot of those small guards that are kind of like me, those are the ones I really try to take a lot from.
Cool. I like that. I like that answer.
Yeah.
All right, another couple more comments. Coach Imani says, I'm coming to Bowie.
What's up, Coach Imani?
Natasha, don't you send another comment in here. It's a teamwork.
That's what, 5?
Yeah, there's too many. That's what it is.
Damn.
And Coach Morgan says, Amadou, if you could time travel to your freshman year, what's one thing you'll tell yourself?
Damn.
That's
Coach
if you could go back to your freshman year.
Damn, freshman year me, I was ready to quit basketball. I did not want to play that no more. I would just tell them, like, there's no shortcut. Like, the only way you're going to get it is hard work. I feel like when I was little, like, I try to always find, like, a shortcut, like, just a short way to get to it, like, short way to win state, short way to averages, short way to score. But looking at it now and the way it took, how long it took, it just shows, like, good things come to those who wait. And if you just keep working hard, you stay focused and, like, be patient, it's going to come to you. But you can't give up after, a couple months. You got to be consistent. Consistency is the name of the game. If you're consistent, you work hard, you got the right people around you, then everything's going to work out.
Yeah.
All right, you got another question for me?
I was going to just make a comment. That just reminds me of something that one of my boys talks about. He talks about how you can't help a caterpillar become a butterfly. It has to go through the struggles and all the things. So if you ever see somebody try to, like, cut open a cocoon, the butterfly come out damaged with one wing or something like that. The struggle is what makes it, because butterflies aren't born; they're created.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
That's a great song.
That's why I bring you on the show, man. You drop nuggets like that, man.
That's a gem right there. That's a dime.
Hey, man, just you can go ahead and use it. Don't worry about it. We don't charge for those.
Yeah, I will. Trust me, I will. All right, Amadou. Look, she's still sending comments, but I'll let her say she loves us. That I'll let her get over that one. All right, man. Well, look, man. I appreciate you, man, for joining us tonight, and I'm excited and looking forward to next season.
Yes,
you over there, Bowie, and just go in there, man. Grind, put that work in, and don't take no for an answer.
Yeah, and before I get off, I just want to give you your flowers, man. Like for real, like everything you've done for me my freshman year from now. Like a lot of people, don't understand the impact coaches have on somebody, but like it's more than just a coach. Like I really appreciate all the impact you had on me because me and from our conversation, you know what it is. Like I really appreciate it. I just want to give you your flowers, man. So I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. I love you guys, man, and it's not too many people that I have personal text conversations with, player wise. But you and JT, y'all my guys, man, and y'all always gonna be my guys. So y'all need me. Hey, man, we right down the street, and I'm always gonna be down there checking you out, brother.
For sure, appreciate you, man. Now, right as well, appreciate you.
Hey, man, good. Thank you for the conversation, man, and just for answering our questions, man. We appreciate that.
Appreciate you.
Yep. Look, we'll bring you back right before the season, man, and let us know how things is going down there.
For sure.
All right, brother.
All right, y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all.
All right, you too,
man.
All right.
That's my guy Amadou Kalogaaand, Law High School basketball state champion, now part of the Bowie State men's basketball program. Great kid, Midnight Rider, man. Works hard. Man. Always in the gym, man. The kid, him, JT, Aiden from that program, from my team. Those guys, man, they lived in the gym. CB, Christian Brown, those guys live in the gym, man, and a lot of them still come up to the school and still working out, getting ready, man. So I'm proud of those guys. Academically, they on point. No issues with grades, and they did it the right way, man. They came to their local school, they stayed 4 years, and they put in that work and brought a state championship into a school that is not looked at towards as a basketball state champ,
So do you guys do a ring ceremony already, or is that something that happens towards the beginning of the school year?
So we did a small one, so that the guys could get their rings before they head off to school.
Okay.
But we're going to do another one on December 5th, which is our opening game of the season. So we're going to do a more formal ring ceremony then.
And that's when you're going to drop your banner?
And that's when we'll drop the banner, yep.
Okay.
Yep. We got the banner, and, my ring sits next to me, man. So I'm I don't wear it because the damn thing too heavy. But, I'll put it up to the camera a little bit and let everybody see that bling there.
That looks nice.
Show off the ring a little bit. Yeah, they did a good job on them. All right, before we go into our next guest, there's a couple more comments in there that I'll get to real quick. My fault, Midnight Rider. We doing the same thing at the same time. Coach Sandra said that's deep. She was talking about your butterfly, comment, man. Yeah, I told you I'm gonna steal that one.
Yeah, man.
That was some
I
good
stole
stuff.
It too, so it's cool.
Coach Morgan said, man, y'all gonna hear me say this week in practice.
That's right, man.
And then Coach Morgan said, for the ring ceremony, I'll let you in for free if you come. He works the basketball game, so he'll be at the table.
I got you.
Right.
I gotta mark that down because depending on how that month comes in, I might be able to make it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move on, man. I'm somewhat on time today, so I don't want to be fired, but got to end on time today. So we're gonna move on to our next guest. Is Coach Ronnie Crump, Potomac High School football. Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I hear you. Sound like you're still in the school.
Yeah, I'm in the school. Technology must be feeling good today around here.
Yeah, so Coach Crump, man, we appreciate you coming on today, man. Joining the podcast. I know me and you done had a long day today of talking in media sessions, man, but appreciate you taking the time to come on here, man, to speak with us. So let's get into it, man. If you can, man, just talk to us about your coaching career, man, and how many years you've been in PG County coaching.
Whew. Oh man. So I started off, at the youth level when it was done the right way, in my opinion.
You're right.
Eventually came into the school system. While I was coaching at Silver Hill Boys and Girls Club, I had one of the principals and Coach Knight used to always come up there because basically it was feeder to our school for that's how it was. And basically I pretty much ran the same system they ran at Potomac during that time. So kids came straight from Silver Hill to Potomac, they already knew the system. And so eventually, I'm not no office guy, so I was in the government briefly, and decided to come into the school system, and was coaching at Potomac since 1999. Started off, JV, came up, position coach on varsity, pretty much coached everything on varsity, leading up to the opportunity to eventually be a head coach in high school. And a lot of times people want to coach, but they want to start off as an OC. They don't want to put the work in. But I put the work in. At one point in time at Potomac, I definitely was the youngest coach on the staff. And eventually got the job. Coach Knight moved on to Croston, so I eventually got the job 2010. Been rolling with it since then.
Okay, so yeah, you've been in the county for a long time. I graduated in '97, so it was a couple years after that you came into the county. So what are some things over the years? What have you seen change throughout the county, leading into the state it's in right
now? I think our communities were tighter. You know what I mean? So. As far as the football thing is concerned, or any other sports, I believe even though you still had the top private schools around, in the area, but you still had guys that went to their neighborhood school, had a lot of pride where they was from, and just appreciated where they was from. So nowadays you see, high school is becoming a microcosm of what's going on in college football. Everybody transferring for whatever reason. You got to hold on to your kids now. You got to, nothing's good enough for anyone anymore. Nobody knows how to make $1 out of 15 cents anymore.
Right. So, yeah, that's one of the things that, when I was playing, like I said, I was in law. If you played for the Law Boys and Girls Club, you went to Law High School.
Yes, sir.
Roosevelt back then in the day, they had Lanham Boys and Girls Club. They ran the same system. Coach Hudgens and them guys, they ran the same system, and you went to Roosevelt. So a lot of things have changed. The youth landscape is helter-skelter now. It's a new team that pops up every other week. And, you got kids that's traveling all the way from Southern Maryland to come up in Montgomery County to play youth football and vice versa. So it's all over the place right now. And we see that reflected into the high school game as well.
Yep. So, I just remember like the kids, you might have had, kid from Silver Hill playing against kids from Camp Springs. Most likely kid from Camp Springs was going to go to Croston. And them guys, they knew each other because they played ball against each other growing up. And then they saw each other again in high school. So, that's how it is. I believe it still exists in certain parts of the country, but for the most part, man, we lost a sense of community when it comes to this.
So, Coach, now you talk about kids you don't have that feeder type system anymore. How has that affected your recruiting?
I don't look, well, you know me, I'm at the point now, I don't chase nobody, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So right now, I just like, you know, I go to my feeder schools, you know,
Okay.
and then you still got to break them away, you know, from that element they're dealing with playing youth football. But you got to, you know, once I get them in here, you know, it's a true development, you know, during this time and era. You know, back then, you know, you might have had a couple studs and you had kids that can play. So now I see, you know, kids got talent, but it's still underdeveloped and it's a process, and that's where we are.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your team this year coming up. What's the program looking like?
I like where we are now. You know, sometimes, you know, public school around here, you know, sometimes it's time for those guys to go. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have a bunch of young guys in our program, a great group of seniors academically, doing what they're supposed to do. And this year's team is going to be probably a much tighter team varsity wise. You know, we had success in our JV program like we normally do. They went undefeated for the first time since 2004. And that was a big thing for them. I think we probably need to do a little more for our JV programs at the end of the year in this county, but you know, that's above our pay grade. But this team here is going to be young, and I think going to be pretty exciting. I think, you know, get back to playing Potomac football like we normally do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any,
Speaking
go ahead, Coach.
Go ahead, man.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say, speaking about that, his JV team last year, man. You know, my days of coaching JV, me and Coach Dre became, you know, close, man. Me and Dre as
Right.
boys, and he did a hell of a job last. Well, he always does a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Boys always come to play, man, and you know, he did a hell of a job with that team last year, and he had some dogs, man, and it was exciting watching those guys, man. I probably watched about 7 of their games. And you know, especially that quarterback they had, they was exciting, man. He did a good job with that squad last year.
Yeah, he just left. He was just talking about you, man.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy, man. And I agree with you, man. We, you know, when I was coaching at Pilate basketball, JV, you know, we used to have a JV playoff in basketball. And you know, there's one thing I don't know why the county and a lot of the public schools don't look into that. You don't have to have a big playoff, man, but put a couple 4 teams together, man, and let them battle it out the last 2 weeks of the season while playoffs are going on the varsity level, man. Because that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, it would be. You know, to get because you know these kids come from youth, especially these days. They come from youth football where they done, you know, won a championship, you know. And then they come to high school, play JV. It's like that's it, you know what I mean. So that's kind of how it is, you know. My nephew, he's only been playing football 2 years. He got more rings than Tom Brady. You know, you know, they giving out rings for playing flag football. I'm like, are you serious? So you know, I don't understand what's going on, but he literally has more rings than Tom Brady right now.
That's crazy.
Hey, man, I know we talked earlier, man, but go ahead, talk about some of your young guys, man. Who's going to be some of your key contributors this year, man? You're looking forward to having big seasons.
We got a young man by the name of Cameron Hyman. He's a 10th grader last year. Had a great year. He's one of those guys that try to get our guys to understand how you practice. This kid practices, the way he practices is amazing, you know, and it carries over to the field. Have another young man, the quarterback, actually, Damari Baxter. He's going to probably be asked to do a little more at the varsity level. Expect big things from him. A young man by the name of Lenny Rose Swinney. He'll be a sophomore. He's going to help us out on both sides of the ball. Then you have Stephon Garcia. He's gonna be a 3-year player starter in our program. On our O-line, we have Anthony Kurt, William Jones, Ty Cunningham, Kevin Stewart, Davon Gale. So we got, and all these, and the great thing about all these guys are 11th graders. They, so we had these guys be able to keep improving and getting them better.
I know, Coach, today was media day. What's the one thing you kind of look forward to this new process of you guys having a media day the last few years?
And man, it's actually a great thing. It's like, you be at home during the summertime and you can't wait for college football live to come on. You can't wait for the SEC media day, the ACC, or the Big Ten media day. So it's an opportunity for our kids to actually be in front of a microphone. I look at it as an opportunity to learn how to speak publicly, probably for the first time, and that's an outlet, and that's something that some other coaches in the area, not PG County, they haven't done it yet. And I say, man, it's a good thing. You need to do it. Y'all need to get yourself together as coaches and put that together. It's real simple. But our kids are today. They love the microphone. They love the videos. They like to be on social media. So it puts them in a positive light as well.
Cool. So what's something that you have taken from, say, one of the other coaches in back that either when you were growing up or in the early years of you coaching? Like, what's a mantra or something that sticks with you from those people?
Just do things in a simplified format, in order for your kids to perform faster without thinking. You know what I mean? So some of the things we do our everyday drills, but our everyday drills has everything to do with what we do. We're not just doing the everyday drills because that's one of the things that coaches do. What are your EDDs? You know what I mean? But we actually all our EDDs are coincide with what we do, offensively and defensively. So we're not doing. So you do the same thing over and over within your system. To some kids, it may be boring because they already think they mastered it, but it's something you do every day. It'll be a natural reaction for you in the game.
Yeah, that's one thing, man. That's real important, man. And I agree with that whole mantra of simplifying things because, a lot of people like to have these complicated systems out there to fake like everything, what you're talking about. But and a lot of the kids don't even understand what you're doing. They don't understand your concepts. They don't know why you're doing this. And keep it simple, man. And like I said, you gotta be repetitive. You gotta do things every day so that muscle memory is there. And especially nowadays where these kids are out here finding, all these janky trainers and stuff that they paying all this money to, and they out there doing all these videos on Instagram, Facebook, and they're doing a bunch of drills and movements that don't have nothing to do with what they're going to do on the football field.
Right.
And that's what I think.
Yeah, we grew up on go outside. That's how we grew up,
Right.
That's, go outside. But I get the training part sometimes, but a lot of the way we grew up, man, your neighborhood basically made you competitive, because everybody was outside playing football, playing basketball, competing against the older guys in the neighborhood. That's one thing I really appreciated once I thought about it when we first moved over here when I was I don't know how old I was. I probably was 8 or 9, but it was one of the most competitive neighborhoods growing up in the Temple Hills area. Once we got over here, but you can go to court and you literally could look up to somebody that actually was going to go somewhere. you know. Then you had guys that could play that wasn't going nowhere, you know, but it was a competitive atmosphere. Those were our trainers, you know, back in the day. You know, you actually did have good coaches. We got actually coached better than we were trained.
Right.
I guess that's a difference, you know what I mean? But
yeah, it is.
You know, the coaches we had even at the youth level really developed us outside of our very own athletic prowess that we naturally had. You know, and I said that had a lot to do with society, how society was back then. And like I said, we stayed at the playground. You know, we stayed at the court, we stayed at the football field. You know, so there wasn't no cell phones, there wasn't none of that. All I knew is after the Redskin game was over, you head down the street to play football. That's all I remember. You know what I mean? So that's how our neighborhood was. You know, just we'd play this other neighborhood. They'd meet us at the field, and it was competitive then. So you know, that's how it was for me.
Yeah. All right, Coach, man. You know, I appreciate you coming on with us tonight, man. And, you know, I'm looking forward to a great season. I know you guys are coming to us somewhere in the midpoint of the season.
Yes, sir.
You know, I respect you and your staff and your program a lot. Like I said, my boy Dre, that's my boy there, man. So I love the things that y'all doing down there. And you do it, you know, competing with other schools. You got Oxon Hill right around the corner from you.
Yep.
And you know, so it's always a challenge to get the numbers, man. But y'all, there's one thing about y'all: when you line up against Potomac team, they gonna play hard. They're gonna be physical, and they're gonna come at you, man. And I respect that a lot.
Appreciate it, man. You know, I remember playing against Laurel in high school. But you know, people don't realize this, right? Laurel for a long time, 4A wise, past Central Avenue, was the only team that won a state championship probably before a school like Wise came into existence. If I'm not mistaken. And that was like 80,
I think you're right.
Yeah, something was like 80, I think 88, 89.
Yeah, 88. We won it in 88. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, I remember that, you know, even one of y'all playing basketball growing up. I ain't played much AAU, but one of our famous coaches at Potomac and Silver Hill, he started slamming jam, and it was like he had guys like Monty Williams, and he had like Ray Slater came out of Laurel.
Oh yeah, that's my boy.
You know what I mean? He was a dog. So I remember him, you know, playing with him a couple times. I traveled with that particular program growing up, but you know, Laurel is not to be slept on, for sure.
And we trying to get it back there, man. You know, it's one day at a time, man. And like you say, we you know, we got to compete with Pilati in the area, and we got to compete with, you know, Science and Tech and Roosevelt and stuff. So you know, we fighting to keep our kids in the area too. But I got this same mindset, man. I coach who show up. You know, I ain't out there chasing no kids around. I ain't got time for all of that. Whoever show up and want to get that work in, that's who we gonna go to battle with.
Yes, sir. So that you know, I'm gonna lay it out. I'm gonna lay out the foundation, the mission, the vision. You know, great things we've done around here. Great things we've done with getting kids to the next level. If you don't believe, you just don't believe. You know what I mean? So that's where I am right now.
Yeah, and that's how it is, man. And like I said, Coach, I appreciate you, man, and you know, keep doing your thing down there. Like I said, I'm a big fan, man, and you know, I'm gonna wish you luck, except for every week when you play us.
Hey, man, likewise, man. I appreciate the opportunity to be on here.
Oh man, I love this part about it, man. I love the brother. No, seriously, man. I've been doing this show for a couple of weeks now, and the one thing I've always noticed is the deep respect that each coach has for the other. And all of y'all say the same thing. I wish you all the luck in the world besides the week you play us. Yeah. So I just love this, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's only right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, man. Y'all keep doing this, man. This is cool, man. I like this.
Hey, man, we're gonna try to keep it as long as the people that have us, man. You know. and I'm gonna keep spotlighting PG County, man, as much as possible. And you know, we're gonna step it up now that the season about to start, man. We actually gonna get some game action now.
All right, that'll work. All right, man.
All right, Coach. You have a good evening, brother.
You too.
Take it easy, Coach.
All right, man.
All right, that's Coach Ronnie Crump, Potomac High School head coach, man, and one of the OGs in PG County, man. Like I said, he's been coaching in the county since '99. Excuse me.
God love that.
And like I said, he does a good job down there in Potomac, man.
Man, that's an amazing feat. I mean, what we talking? 26 years, 25 years, just grinding, man, turning over kids, and yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a long time on the high school level, man. And it's like, you know, I first started coaching youth ball in '99. You know, I graduated in '97, and you know, once my hoop dreams, my field dreams was done, you know, I got straight into coaching, man. And it's, you know, I don't know why I keep doing it, but I keep coming back.
Because you love it. Because when you stop, you know when you done coaching. Because when that season comes around and you don't get that itch, that's when you know you done and you good. And
I ain't had that one yet, man.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But it's just funny. I love how guys have those long tenures because, you know, I grew up and you know, my dad and my uncle, their best friends were a guy named Jim Fields that coached at Eastern High School in D.C. for about 15 years. And then the other coach was Willie Stewart at Anacostia. So they'd always – my dad used to hang out with Jim, but Willie would always come to our tailgate when we were at the Redskin games. And you just listening to those guys, man, just a wealth of knowledge, man.
Yeah.
Just a wealth of knowledge.
And that's what it is, man. You get around a good group, man. I've always been told I got an old soul. You know, I always hang around older guys than me. And, you know, some of these older coaches, man, they, you know, that's where I get my gems from, man. You know, those guys gave you the knowledge, man. And back then, you know, they coached, man, and they taught and they coached. And it was just amazing.
No, that's good stuff, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, look, man, another great showdown, man. And look, I got 3 minutes, man. I did a great job, man. So before we got another show coming up on the sideline, Junkies Network tonight. We in the passenger seat. Who you got coming on tonight?
So tonight we don't have it yet. We got it next week. So next week we gotta get out on time. No, you good. Yep. You good.
Yeah, my bad. I thought it was this week. So I'm looking. What you got going on this week?
I gotta get the lineup straight. But no, so the rest of this week, of course, tomorrow night we have the Tuesday night flight, and before that we have drive time at 5:00, which normally comes on Mondays, but they had to move it because of scheduling conflict. Wednesdays in the passenger seat. Thursday, it's another Thursday night throwdown. Saturday night WrestleManiacs, and then Sunday we get it started all over again with the Sunday Rise, man. And then next week we'll have, I think we got 2 doubleheaders, the 17th and the 18th. One of the guys is the guy from, in the passenger seat. He runs the Talk Nats podcast. So we got him. I don't know if he's after you or if he's the next day. So we're gonna be hustling Monday and Tuesday next week. Yeah, but hey, as we always do, we grind and make it happen, baby.
Yeah, you're right, man. Grind and make it happen, man. And you know, next week on our show, man, we got my guy Marcus Jackson, wrestling coach at Law, also one of my head JV coach. He's coming on there next week. We got my guy Kirsten Miller coming back on, man, to do a preview of PG County football season, leading into the season. You know, we're gonna have some videos and interviews of some players from the media day that we had today. I just didn't get the videos uploaded in time, but we'll start playing some of those next week and sharing across our other on other platforms, Facebook and YouTube. And then we also got Real Lady Monet, who who broke a story the other day about a coaching situation down at Osborne Park, where the coach was let go. So, I ain't gonna try to spill too much, but she's gonna come on and talk about that next week, man. And just highlight another thing that the coaches got to deal with, man. This coaching career, man. If you ain't in the right situation, it can be a struggle, man. For us that's volunteering a lot of our time away from our family. So we're gonna talk about that next week as well.
Nah, I totally agree. I mean, when I saw it, the first thing I thought of was the Bridgewater. I don't know if it's the same type of situation, but it's just hard when you see a guy or coaches giving up their time and then they just get let go for whatever reason. So hopefully we get the story out of it as much as she can give us, and we'll be ready to go next week.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, like always, man, I appreciate you, brother, for taking this journey with me, man, and another show down.
Yes, sir. Oh, and shout out to, is that Coach Jackson? I think Coach Jackson been riding with us the last 2 weeks straight. Like he don't miss a day. Like he get attendance. When we say his name, he's here. Or when that show light comes on, he's in the background. So we appreciate that, Coach.
Yeah, because he ain't got no life. His whole life is sports. He ain't got nothing else to do. He ain't got no kids, He live for sports, man. Look, if you ain't watching sports, you playing the damn game. If you ain't playing the damn game, you at the bar. So there's only 3 places you're gonna find.
That's it. He can never be a serial killer.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Because you're gonna know where he at.
Exactly.
That's my guy, man. Yeah. That's my guy there, man. That's my boy.
He gives us energy and he always has good stuff to say. So we definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Except I hope he don't get to talking about the damn Ohio State and get on my nerves when he start talking about them. All right, but he's a Commanders fan, so he all right. look, he made a comment. Yeah, he made a comment. Start your week right with the Sunday rise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then he come on and say, listening to a podcast doing work is lovely. That's right, man. Just sit there, man. So, hey, I always say, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, man. Go in there and you can watch all our shows. You ain't got to catch them live. We prefer you catch them live so you can interact with us. But if you don't catch them live, it helps us out by you going back later and watching them as well, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. We trying to start making money off this thing, man. Everybody they getting paid to show their feet and stuff, man. So let's get paid to talk about some good content or something. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get me some dinner, man. I'm gonna let y'all go. We appreciate y'all riding with us again tonight, man, and we look forward to seeing y'all next week.
All right. Thanks.